Hello guys, KP Shamino here with a new video for Ultimate Fishing Simulator 2, the playtest. And week 3 is almost done, so I'm going to do a recap on the Kurile channel. I'm going to talk about still some stuff that are in the game that are not so good, and I hope in the future that they are going to fix it. And yeah, then we are going to talk about the new river that we are going to get tomorrow, probably on Friday, with the fish pieces. And it's going to be the last week, I think, of the playtest. But first we are going to start with the things that I thought were very good improvements, but are not 100% yet good, in my opinion. So first of all, they removed that after some time you lose the fish. That's very good. That makes me very happy. But what I saw now is how broken the fatigue system is on the fish in this game. So I'm not really sure that with certain setups you can land certain fish. So what I'm talking about is, and I just missed that sturgeon, what I'm talking about is, so I had a catfish, a Welsh catfish on this setup, it's 16 kilogram. And yeah, he went just to the other side of the room. I fought him for 25 minutes and he was still at 70 meters, so he just stayed there. So my thought is that you cannot land him. And it was really strange, he just stayed there for like 20 minutes. So that's a big problem, because I think it was probably 40 to 50 kilogram catfish. My setup is like 16 kilogram setup, so at some point, yeah, I'm not sure that you can land it. So that's a big problem. So they need to rethink that a little bit. So if it is in the game and it takes just a little bit longer, that's okay. But if it is not in the game, please get a fatigue system in the game that on every setup I can land that fish. Even if it takes a couple of hours, but communicate that with the community. I don't have a problem with fighting with the fish if it is a good fish, but now it was a little bit ridiculous in my eyes. Another thing, they introduced a zoom function. That's really good, but it's not really good executed in my opinion. So it's very good that it's in the game because now you can zoom, you can see it here, but please remove all the black shit around the square. That's not needed. I think it looks, yeah, garbage in my opinion, because the first time that I saw this, I was thinking, why is all that black on my sides? Just get it away, just zoom in and let everything see. It's very important because for me it's a problem. I have a problem with it. And oh, I got a fish. And you guys can see right away, I'm going to talk now about the bobber fishing. So you can see that the bobber fishing, it seems that they fix the hook spitting too. So I'm at the moment fishing just with this setup. I got a 6 hook on and I did now a test with 10 fish and I didn't get once that a fish spit the hook. And that's very good. That's very good because it's not so fun if you see 100 times a fish getting your hook and spits it out. So I think that's fixed. But yeah, now at the moment, of course, the problem with the bobber fishing is that the setups are way too low for this area. But that's already good. You can get fish. I'm not sure what happened there, but it seems that the fish get unhooked. Is linked with, I think, with the bite system on the hooks. But don't start doing all that stuff. It's not really needed. If you get a fish, maybe you can get it loose with slack line or something, or you get spooled. But fish get unhooked. It's like fish got away in Russia fishing 4. There is not really a point why you put that in the game. It's only frustrating, and at the end, there is no benefit from it. So the bobber fishing is now okay for me, besides that it's a low test. And now I'm going to talk a little bit about the feeder fishing, because the feeder fishing still need to do a lot of work. Is this my feeder setup? No. Ah yeah, it was my feeder setup. So first of all, yeah, so you got a rod stand here. So how do you need to get the rod stand? It was some work. So you need to get all the rods away. Then you need to go to accessories. Then you need to take this. And yeah, now it's gone. Okay. So I practiced it. Normally I did this and then I use it. Yeah, okay. So it seems the first time that I did it and I used it, it was okay, but now I cannot use it anymore. So if I put use, I can put it out. Ah, it's still here. Ah, okay. Okay, that's good. So about the feeder fishing, first of all, we don't have bite alarms. That's very critical, because if you see next week the fish that are coming, so I would prefer that we got bite alarms. And another thing, so it had the same problem that the bobber fishing, but that's now fixed. So that's not really a problem anymore with the hook and spitting out. But another thing, you guys can see it here. You will not see it in realistic mode, but... Ah, I cannot zoom in. Okay. So if it is in the rod stand, I cannot zoom in. So you can already see what the problem is. My line is through the bottom. So yeah, it's not good. And this is an eel. That's very cool. Let's get him. So there, I will throw it again in, and I will look under the water. It's just the graphical, but it's very irritating. And I'm not sure it's that hard to fix it really quick. So let's do again. You guys will see it if the feeder, the basket, is going to land on the bottom. So here you can see it really well. So you see my line, then you see the basket, and have a look how it hits the ground. Yeah, this is not good. It's just, yeah, going through the ground. So that's not so good, and I hope that they fix it for next week. Now we are going to talk about all the stuff that they still need to fix and are going to give a very big problem in the future if they don't get it right. So what did I saw? So the line can go higher than the reel, and I think can go higher than the rod too if you don't get spooled. So if you fish, it's not a problem. So my guess is it's a little bit like Russian fishing 4. So you got a drag on a reel, it's 18 kilograms. But in Russian fishing 4, that does not mean that you cannot put like a 40 kilogram line on that reel. And here it's the same. It's not like Fishing Planet. And that's, I think, is different. So you see here a max drag, but the resistance on the reel is a lot higher than the 18.1 kilogram. So I can put here a line of 23 kilogram on. That's the difference. So the previous time I was thinking, how is it possible that my reel is not getting more tension on it with the same amount of line to the maximum drag? And now I know, because the reel is just stronger than the maximum drag. That's the first thing. Don't have really a problem with it, because in Russian Fishing 4 it works too. But that's very strange, because I think this is going to go the way arcadey more. I don't see this going very hardcore fishing. I think this is going to be a little bit like Fishing Planet. That's not a problem, because I think there is room for a little bit more a fun arcadey game. But yeah, that's a little bit strange that they introduce this, but it's not really a problem. But you guys know it now. So you can just, if you level higher, get more stronger line. That's how you can get a little bit easier very big fish in. You cannot catch all the fish, because even with the biggest setup you cannot get all the fish. But that's the first thing that I want to talk about. Then the fish fight, I already told you guys that a very big fish, it was not fun. He was just hitting the other side, the concrete, and that was it. End of story. Rework it a little bit. A big fish is not going to sit on... It was like that he was just chilling a little bit. He got, for fuck's sake, a hook in his face. He need to fight for his life, and he just goes to sit on the other side of the room, and you cannot move it anymore. So get the fatigue system in the game, and if it is already in the game, make it a little bit easier, because it's way too hard to fight the fish. Then another thing, and this is going to break the game, I'm sure of it. So what was the biggest problem this week? If you come with this setup, you can catch practically every fish in this lake. This is a top water lure, so I got here Welsh catfish, I got sturgeon on it, I got eel on it. So there is already a very big problem. At the moment, you can throw what you want in the water. Most of the time, everything will bite. If they want to attract a lot of more players in this game, they need to fix that problem. In real life, I cannot go with the top water after sturgeon. If you do that, they just put you in the Insanity Institute, because nobody is fishing like that. So work on it. developers, please make that you need, for example, shrimps or something is for sturgeon, but start working on that, because if that stays in the game, it's not a fishing game anymore. You just equip something, you throw in, you level, you buy everything, and after 50 hours you stop playing. That's the main problem. So that was it a little bit, guys. So after week 3, they still need to do a lot of work. I hope that they can fix all the problems here, because getting a very good fishing game is not easy. And I can understand it's a playtest, that's true. But there is still a lot of work that they need to do. So at the end, everything always comes back in fishing games. It's not that hard to make a very good fishing game, because what do people want? They want to have some chase fish. So if you get a big fish, you want to have the satisfaction from a big fish. It cannot be too easy. You need to land them. You need to do a little bit of effort. That's rule number 1. If you don't have that in the game and you are just catching non-stop fish, that's already one of the main reasons for a good fishing game to not play it. Then another thing, they need to get the physics right on the rods. Very important. And the fights, that's very important too. And then another thing, what I just said, bait preference is very important too. And then most of the time, then you can start doing all the side projects like aquarium, like the gear, the skins. And that's because at the end they got very nice areas, they got a fish already in the lake, so that's already all done. The equipment can follow too, but that's very important. Chasing fish, physics, setups, and bait preference, that's the main key in fishing games. And that's very important. So now we are going to talk about the lake next week. And oh, I forgot to click on it. Was it this? Let's have a look. So here we are. So next week we are going to get this lake. So you guys can see it here. It's called Kurile Lake. And what are the fish that we are going to get? I think this is going to be a very high level one. So maybe I hope that we are going to get some extra equipment. That's very important. So you guys can see it here. So the fish pieces: European eel, silver carp, Prussian carp, that's Crucian carp, Amur pike, Tench beluga. Yeah, therefore I'm a little bit worried with the setups that we got at the moment. Then we got Baikal black grayling, chum salmon, coho salmon, pink salmon. That's really cool. So some salmon for spin fishing, and I would say feeder fishing, but I think it's going to be once again all top water lure. Yeah, we need to wait until tomorrow, and I want to thank you guys for watching the video, and I see you guys in next video. Bye bye.